Snow White and the Huntsman is one of the most talked about summer movie releases. It stars Kristen Stewart and Chris Hemsworth, two of Hollywood's hottest young actors. We want to thank Universal Pictures for production assistance with today's interview. I am so happy to have both of them with us this morning. Good morning, Kristen, and good morning, Chris. How are you today?
Good morning. We're happy to be here. Thank you.
I know it's a little early, but we certainly appreciate you stopping by. Kristen, let me begin with you. You know, America really embraced you after the Twilight movies, and now there's this big movie everyone's talking about, Snow White. Has the fame and stardom been a little daunting at your young age?
I feel like the reason the job is fun is because you find people, you know, whether it's a director or another actor that you go, gosh, you know, I love this, and then they go, me too, and suddenly you can love it more together. So it is definitely daunting, but in the best way, because it's sort of like, on a less intimate level, you're just loving something together, and it's sort of like this great responsibility to hold it up, and yeah. It's a driving force. It's good.
Your art and your craft. You know, Chris, you know, America loves you too. You know, you're playing Thor in the Avengers movie, and it has really skyrocketed you into the atmosphere as well. Does all the fame distract you a little bit from being an artist?
No, I'm just all about the free gifts and, you know, the perks. You know, reservations at restaurants, front of the line, no problem. Clubs, you know. Clubs. You know, it is what it is, you know, and each time a film comes out, and especially just with Avengers, you're that little bit more recognised, and a few more people sort of, you know your face, and you know, you can't walk into the business and be unaware that that's going to happen. So, you know, it's great. It's all been really positive. I've been lucky, and the freedom it gives me to pick and choose who I want to work with and what I want to do. That's the greatest thing about it. You know, it's you know, I had my hand up for everything a couple of years ago. Right. You know, kind of banging on the door trying to get an audition. And
right, certainly the good life now.
Work with these fine folks.
All right, well, let's talk about let's talk about this movie everyone is talking about. Kristen, how do you feel about this new dark take on this treasured classic?
It is dark, but I think that it just makes the levity and the light parts of the movie just so much more beautiful. It's not just dark, you know what I mean? It's like it just sort of lives in a scary world that lives in a little bit more visceral. You know, there's so much more going on. There's so much more to deal with. Snow White was always a very, you know, very fundamental, simple, short story. Anybody who was going to make a movie of it needed to elaborate, and I think for a modern audience, it's just so much cooler to watch somebody strive to become these really ideal qualities and like fight to hold this heart rather than have it easily.
Really cool and fun to watch. Chris, quickly, was it a fun movie to make? It's packed with all kinds of adventure.
Yeah, it was. It was an adventure. The 3 or 4 month shoot we had, when I arrived on set to when we stopped, it was kind of, you were on the train, you know, and we went from various kind of obscure locations and snow-capped mountains and forests and churches and all through Europe, and there was no kind of running back to the warm set or trailer in between takes, because we're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And so you lived and breathed the story, and it was absolutely an adventure, and we're in the mud and the rain most of the time, but you kind of bled these characters, and it was great.
Well, I tell you, we can't wait to see it. We hear such great things about it. I want to thank both of you for joining us this morning, and good luck with that movie. Again, we want to thank Universal Pictures for production assistance with today's interview. Snow White and the Huntsman is in theaters now. For more information, you can log on to myfoxatlanta.com and click on the Good Day tab.